most people don't have models for coaching. There are places like the Coaches Training Institute, and all they do for a living is teach people how to coach. And that's if you're running with coaching at that point, but I find most people aren't even crawling. So let's get you crawling first before you start to run. So the process for coaching lead gen reps, number one, you need to have some sort of game film. Outbound lead gen reps are on the phone, they're on the internet. You need to capture game film. We use a technology for that called team visibility that we love. There are lots of other technologies you can use. You can use the phone system and things like that too. You use the game film. Number two, you have the reps self-assess. So have a scheduled interaction with the reps. It's on the calendar with the coach and the person being coached. The rep being coached picks the calls for that. They should pick some good ones and some bad ones. And they show up and they've actually pre-assessed their calls using something we call a call coaching scorecard. And a call coaching scorecard takes a qualitative thing like, how was the call? The call went good. What does good mean? Good doesn't mean anything. So instead, we're going to take qualitative things like, did we earn the right to have a conversation in the first place? And we're going to score on that, and we're going to have degrees that you earn the right to have the conversation, and quantitative scores for something that otherwise would be qualitative and subjective. So you show up to this event, the rep has done self-assessment, the manager has scores the call. We compare those two scorecards to see how they match up and how they align, to see if their perception's the same as our perception on a quantitative, objective thing, no longer subjective. And then after that, we've got this great opportunity to practice. So then we listen to the call, we practice, and we have them redo the call. Practice, repeat, practice, and repeat. A big thing that coaches mess up all the time, especially for lead gen, is we try to coach them on too much. So we break these calls down, or we break down the emails that they're using, and we go, okay, do this, do this, do this, do that, do this, do this, do that. Stop doing that. We coach way too much. Coach one or two things, no more than one or two things. That's it. So we want to get them better on a few things. And we actually had a golf pro. One of your BDR managers in the other room is a golf pro, and he said, what happens is we're telling them, keep your head down, keep your left arm straight, do this, do that, do this, do that. And after a while they go, whoa, you lost me at keep your head down. I just need to focus on keep my head down. So one or two things. Next, we're gonna let those people go out and try these new one or two things, these behaviors in the real world, and capture game film again from what's happening in the real world. So at that point, they're going back in the real world, and then we're tracking that scorecard, the progress on the scorecard over time. Before, on something like objection handling, maybe they got a 1 because they just rolled over, they didn't even try to handle the objection, they gave up. Versus now, with some coaching, we can go back and measure that they get 2s. With a little bit more coaching, they get 3s, and then after a while, they've mastered it. And once they've mastered it, there's a little bit of science of learning. The neuroscience of learning is such that you actually form new neural connections in your brain. So once you've mastered something, it's locked in the fabric and the neural connections in your brain, and you usually won't forget it for the rest of your life. So they master that thing, then we move on to the next thing. And then finally, and this is, I can't emphasize this enough, we gotta make it positive, and we have to praise the desired behavior. And I think that's another thing. We're so quick to focus on the weakness that we have to always make sure we talk about the strength. We have to praise the desired behavior. And one of the best ways to praise is let them have a highlight reel. So here's an interesting idea. Some people call it a best practices library. Libraries are boring, especially for lead gen reps. They don't like it. Instead, we're going to talk about highlight reels. A lot of these people are former athletes. So we're going to take their best of the best calls. We're going to call it a highlight reel. We're going to create a personal highlight reel that gets shared out with the other BDRs in the lead gen team. And that's a source of pride for these people. They're all excited about it. So there you go. There's my steps. I think there are 6 of them, but those are the steps for outbound lead gen coaching. Hi, I'm Steve Richard from Vorsight. I'm one of the co-founders of the business, and you can reach me at srichardv.